Cricket is a bat and ball game. The objective of the game is for a team to score more runs than its opponent has scored. There are at least 2 innings in a cricket match. During an innings, a team fields while the other bats. The 2 teams switch between fielding and batting after each innings. The number of innings and the number of overs per innings change depending on the format of the match. The innings is complete when 10 members of the batting team are dismissed. This is known as all out, although one always remains not out, or when a set number of overs have been played, or when the batting team declares that they have enough runs. Each team is headed by a captain who is responsible for making tactical decisions such as determining the batting order, the placement of fielders, and the rotation of bowlers. Certain traditional statistics are familiar to most cricket fans. The basic terminologies are included here for reference. Full members are the governing bodies for cricket in a country or associated countries. West Indies cricket team is a combination of over 20 countries from the Caribbean. The English cricket team represents both England and Wales. The associate and affiliate members are not qualified to play Test cricket. However, ICC grants one-day international status to its associate and affiliate members based on their success in the World Cricket League. 2 teams of 11 players each play on an oval field. The edge of the playing field is marked with a boundary, which could be a fence, part of the stands, a rope, or a painted line. At the center is a rectangular 22-yard-long pitch. At each end of the pitch is a wooden target called a wicket, placed 22 yards apart. The wicket is made of 3 vertical stumps supporting 2 small horizontal bails. The pitch is marked with painted lines, a bowling crease in line with the wicket, and a batting or popping crease 4 feet in front of it. The importance of the popping crease to the batsman is that it marks the limit of his safe territory. There is always an umpire at each end of the pitch. These 2 are always dressed in suits. The scorers are directed by the hand signals of an umpire. For example, the umpire raises a forefinger to signal that the batsman is out, that is, he has been dismissed. The umpire raises both arms above his head if the batsman has hit the ball for 6 runs. A coin toss is held by the team captains, who are also players, just before the match starts. The winner decides whether to bat or field first. At any one time, there are 2 batsmen in the playing area. One takes station at the striker's end to defend the wicket as above and to score runs if possible. The rest of the 9 batsmen sit in the pavilion. The order of batsmen is usually announced just before the match, but it can be changed based on playing conditions. All 11 members of the fielding team take the field. The fielding team's other 9 members stand outside the pitch, spread out across the field. These positions are not fixed, but they are known by specific and sometimes colorful names such as slip, third man, silly mid-on, and long leg. The captain is the most important member of the fielding side. He determines all the tactics, including who should bowl and how. He is responsible for setting the field, though usually in consultation with the bowler. Another member of the fielding team, the wicket-keeper, is positioned behind the striker's wicket. He wears special gloves. He is the only fielder allowed to do so, a box over the groin and pad to cover his lower legs. The bowler usually retreats a few yards behind the wicket, runs towards it his run-up, and then releases the ball overhand as he reaches the bowling crease. The 2 batsmen take positions at opposite ends of the pitch. The other 9 batsmen stay in the pavilion. The batsman tries to prevent the ball from hitting the wicket by striking the ball with his bat. This includes the handle of the bat and his gloves. The batsman at the bowling end is called the non-striker and stands to the side of his wicket, behind his crease. Batsmen come in to bat in a batting order, decided by the team captain. Batsmen do not always seek to hit the ball as hard as possible, and a good player can score runs just by making a deft stroke with a turn of the wrists or by simply blocking the ball but directing it away from fielder so that he has time to take a run. There is a wide variety of shots played in cricket. The batsman's repertoire includes strokes named according to the style of swing and the direction aimed. For example, cut, drive, hook, and pull. A batsman is not required to play a shot in the event that he believes the ball will not hit his wicket and there is no opportunity to score runs. He can leave the ball to go through to the wicket-keeper. A dismissed batsman leaves the field to be replaced by another batsman from the batting team. However, even though the wicket may have been put down or the ball caught, the batsman is not actually dismissed until the fielding team appeal to the umpires for a decision, traditionally using the expression "how's that?" In some matches, particularly test matches, either team may request a review by a third umpire who can use a decision review system (DRS), which includes TV replays and other electronic equipment such as Hawkeye, Hotspot, and the snickometer. One designated member of the fielding team, called the bowler, bowls the ball from one end of the pitch to the striking batsman at the other end. The bowler bowls the ball in sets of 6 deliveries or balls. Each set of 6 balls is called an over. A bowler cannot bowl 2 successive overs, although a bowler can bowl and change at the same end for several overs. After a bowler has bowled 6 times an over, another member of the fielding team is designated as the new bowler, the old bowler taking up the fielding position. The ball is a hard leather seamed spheroid with a circumference of 9 inches or 230 mm. The ball becomes live when he starts his run-up. The bowler reaches his delivery stride by means of the run-up, although some bowlers with a very slow delivery take no more than a couple of steps before bowling. A fast bowler needs momentum and takes quite a long run-up, running very fast as he does so. At the other end of the bowling scale is the spinner, who bowls at a relatively slow pace and relies entirely on guile to deceive the batsman. When the batsmen have finished attempting their runs, the ball is dead and is returned to the bowler to be bowled again. Another bowler is deployed at the other end, and the fielding side changes ends. The batsmen do not change ends, and so the one who was non-striker is now the striker and vice versa. The umpires also change positions, so that the one who was at square leg now stands behind the wicket at the non-striker's end and vice versa. Fielding team members may bowl multiple times during an innings, but may not bowl 2 overs in succession. Runs are scored when the striker hits the ball and it is not caught without bouncing. To register a run, both runners must touch the ground behind the crease with either their bats or their bodies. The batsmen carry their bats as they run. Each completed run increments the score. Both batsmen run the length of the pitch, exchanging positions and grounding their bats behind the opposite crease. Each crossing and grounding by both batsmen is worth 1 run. More than 1 run can be scored from a single hit, but while hits worth 1 to 3 runs are common, the size of the field is such that it is usually difficult to run 4 or more. Only the striker can score individual runs, but all runs are added to the team's total. If an odd number of runs is scored by the striker, the 2 batsmen have changed ends, and the one who was non-striker is now the striker. To compensate for this, hits that reach the boundary of the field are automatically awarded runs. If the batsman hits the ball over the field boundary without the ball touching the field, the batting team scores 6 runs.
If the ball touches the ground and then reaches the boundary, the batting team scores 4 runs. The batsman might start running before the ball reaches the boundary, but those runs don't count. Additional runs can be gained by the batting team as extras due to errors made by the fielding side. No ball. Wide. By. Leg by. The common forms of dismissal are bowled, caught, leg before wicket, LBW, run out, and stumped. Less common methods are hit wicket, hit the ball twice, obstructed the field, handled the ball and timed out. These are almost unknown in the professional game. If the dismissal is obvious, for example when bowled and in most cases of caught, the batsman will voluntarily leave the field without the umpire needing to dismiss them. Otherwise, before the umpire will award a dismissal and declare the batsman to be out, a member of the fielding side, generally the bowler, must appeal. A team score is reported in terms of the number of runs scored and the number of batsmen that have been dismissed. For example, Australia first innings score is 462 for 6 or 6 for 462. A scorecard summarizes a match's statistics. The scoreboard gives the batsman's name and method of dismissal as well as the bowling statistics. If the last team to bat is losing, is all out, and has 76 fewer runs than the other team, then the winning team wins by 76 runs. If the team that bats last is all out having scored fewer runs than their opponents, the team is said to have lost by in runs. If the team that bats last scores enough runs to win, it is said to have won by in wickets, wherein is the number of wickets left to fall. If this winning team has not completed its last innings, and still has, for example, 5 batsmen who are not out or have not even batted, then they are said to win by 5 wickets. In 4 innings games the last team may not even need to play its second innings, this team is said to win by an innings. In the traditional form of the game, if the time allotted for the match expires before either side can win, then the game is declared a draw. If the 2 teams both play all their innings and they have the same number of runs, then it is a tie. A one-day match can also be declared a no result if fewer than a previously agreed number of overs have been bowled by either team, in circumstances that make normal resumption of play impossible, for example, wet weather. The match always ends when all innings have been completed. But in many cases the match ends immediately when the first team to bat has played all of its innings, and the last team to bat has more runs. The umpires can also call an end to the match in case of bad light or weather. An innings is closed when 10 of the 11 batsmen are out, have been dismissed. In this case, the team is said to be all out. The team has only 1 batsman left who can bat, 1 or more of the remaining players being unavailable owing to injury, illness or absence. Again, the team is said to be all out. The team batting last reaches the score required to win the match. The predetermined number of overs has been bowled, in a one-day match only, commonly 50 overs, or 20 in 2020. A captain declares his team's innings closed while at least two of his batsmen are not out. This does not apply in one-day limited over matches.